Hello, and welcome to week 3 of the VPL. I scored a forfeit win, unfortunately, in week 2 from Legends, and this time I am facing against Nozzer. Nozzer has a particularly difficult team for me to deal with, as you will see, and this includes Tornadus Therian. I didn't expect it to come since I had, electric terrain based team and Tapu Koko and Loner Raichu would outspeed. Sorry if I'm not looking at the camera. I'm currently joined by my cat who's demanding attention. Anyway, Heatran, Tornadus T, Heatran, Tangrowth, Primarina, Necrozma, Scolipede, Mega Glalie, Rotom, and Mudsdale and Drampa are the squad. The squad he decided to bring consisted of Rotom, Necrozma, Heatran, Mudsdale, and Drampa. And the team I brought was an Assault Vest Mamoswine with Icicle Crash, Earthquake, Knockoff, and Ice Shard. Due to the speed boosting Scolipede, I wanted the Ice Shard to make sure I could pick up any KOs. The Assault Vest was to try and live hits from Heatran, possibly, with the Thick Fat ability, to take on Rotom, because my electric switch-ins are limited. And yeah, basically, yeah, and maybe a hit from Drampa as well, since I can deal a lot of damage to it. My next bring was Milotic, and it's pretty simple set. Max HP, max defense, Scald, Ice Beam, Recover, Toxic, with a Marvel scale. And then I brought Decidueye with Deciduum C. So it's one of my 3 Z users, along with Tyrantrum and Tapu Koko. The set I'm bringing, because I want to bring something set up: Spirit Shackle, Swords Dance, Shadow Sneak, and Roost. Again, bringing priority to try and pick up KOs on Scarfed Mons or Scolipede. Roost, because there's a couple of things. The Drampa does nothing to me, and the Mudsdale's Get Out, so I could set up on those. I wasn't sure what to bring on Koko, I just wanted the terrain. But I decided to bring Wikiberry. A lot of speed for the Tornadus in the unlikely event that he brought it. Thunderbolt, Dazzling Gleam, Defog, and U-Turn. So this is more of a utility Tapu Koko this week. I've bought a Bronzong with Colberberry, Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Toxic, and Durable. So this was just specially defensive to take on the Necrozma, in case it was a special Necrozma. And finally, the Hawlucha was Bulk Up, Acrobatics, Drain Punch, and Throat Chop. Throat Chop does just a little bit more to... it's for the Rotom. It's still going to hit the Rotom, otherwise the Rotom completely walls Hawlucha. So, going into the match, the investments for Hawlucha was a lot of speed. This is before I realized I was investing too much speed, because the terrain was that good. Anyway, moving into the match. Start normal speed. So, leads a Scolipede, as I lead the Milotic, and I score a crit and a burn. Sorry. So the Scolipede is pretty much useless turn 1. So he's just gonna use his Z move as I bring in the Bronzong. And he switches out, which I thought was strange, but so the Rotom comes in on the rocks. And I bring in my Assault Vest Mamoswine to take the Volt Switch. and predicting a protect, or didn't know what move to expect. I brought in Coco because I thought he's trying to switch out hard, and he's got Hex. And now between the poison and this Rotom, it's gonna be a real pain. We'll slow it down a little bit as he starts clicking protect. And he outplays me here because I clicks the protect, my knockoff. I click it again. He sacks off the Scolipede, and my Mamoswine is gone. And I needed that for a lot of his team. I should have switched out earlier, but once, So I bring in the Decidueye, since it's my only electric at this point, and I predict a Sap Sipper Drampa. So I'm going to switch out into Bronzong, and he clicks the Fire Blast. I just managed to live and get a Toxic off, so this thing is now on a timer. So it won't be Roo stalling, I won't have to worry about a Berserk Trampart running through my team. As I just click the Gyroball, I do nothing because it's super slow. So I decided to then click the Earthquake. And it does a little bit more, and I'm letting the Toxic build up as he finally switches to Rotom. So Milotic is going to come on the Rotom. A strange switch, perhaps, but it's all I have. So I'm going to sack off the Bronzong, so I can get a free switch on the Volt Switch, and he brings in Mudsdale. So this is obviously a switch from Milotic. He's going to be scared out into Drumper, and because he's not Berserk, he doesn't get the special attack boost. I just click Scold because I can outstall this. And I click Ice Beam to just pick up the KO. So Milotic is looking good. 83%. The Ruby is looking healthy. Brings in the Rotom again as I switch to Coco, because Coco doesn't do too much at this point. So I'm really just trying to get some chip damage on this Rotom, which is proving surprisingly difficult for me as he protects again. And I probably should have seen this coming, but he gets me again. And he switches it's free switch in the Heatran, and I have not much for it. If he's Solar Beam, now at this point, I didn't switch in Milotic, forgetting that he'd already used the Z move on Scolipede. So I was predicting a Bloom Doom Heatran to catch the Milotic on the switch, which even I did the calc afterwards, wouldn't have done that much. So this was bad play in the Zen game, and it's going to bite me. So here, continuing, I'm just gonna sack off Coco, get a little chip on the Heatran. As you can see, it's clearly leftovers. So I switch into Hawlucha, trying to get some setup, and hopefully, get Hawlucha's turn to sweep. So I pick the bulk up, I click the acrobatics, and I don't do much. And this looks like a special Necrozma, since that just blasted my Hawlucha the next week. The Milotic comes in and is Milotic and Decidueye against the world. So he has a Rotom, a Necrozma, a Heatran, and a Mudsdale, all of which are at decent health, thanks to their leftover recoveries. And I have two Mons, and one of them gets beat by Rotom, it gets beat by Heatran. So it's pretty much all on Milotic at this point. So Milotic is just going to stall out. Okay, so Milotic is going to go against the Crossbow. And I did not realize until this match just how naturally bulky Milotic is, because this does not have very much Spadef aside from a positive nature. And the Rotom comes in, and I presume this This is not going to go well. So this Rotom is just going to click Protect and Hex, and it's doing a decent amount of chips. I am obviously trying to get me down. I'm actually going to score another crit burn. Not that particularly matter, but come on. So I'm just hit in, and I decided to try and gain some initiative by predicting the Volt Switch and going to Siturai. And this is where things get very lucky for someone. Magnus all missed. If that landed, the game would have been more difficult since the Heatran outspared my Melodic and believe a Toxic. So I managed to pick off the Heatran. And now the Siturai is still alive. I can switch to Melodic as the Necrozma comes in and the Mudsdale comes in. And this is, yep, gonna go for a cover on the Earthquakes. It is doing nothing to me because of the max defense and Marvel Scale boost. So Necrozma decides to take a shot, and this gets a bit stalled. It's going to speed up at this point. So I click Scald, recover, then go Morning Sun, and this is just going to be stalling out. Morning Sun, Scald. Skip ahead a few turns. And now we come into the... So, Necrozma goes down, Rotom comes in, and I managed to pick up the Rotom. So, it's just Mudsdale versus Melodic and Siturai, and this is a game. There is no way Mudsdale can break through both of them. And not realizing just how much damage the Scald does, I keep recovering to play safe. And again, another crit. I mean, again, didn't matter this time, but Scald critting 3 times in one game, there we go. And that's week 3. So I am currently 3-0. And I probably should have lost this game based on, at the very least, how well Nozzle played. I got that Rotom with a pain and caused me a lot of grief, and that Magma Storm miss in terms of like single moments in the game. And that was a big turnaround, because otherwise they would have a lot more to do against the Melodic. Yeah, it's just a differential. And then also the fact that turn 1 crit burn against Scorpede. So I apologize for the hacks. I wish it were a cleaner game. But there we go. Melodic pulls through, managing to net, I think, 4 KOs. And that's the end of that week. So I will see you in the next match. And that will be week 5. And good evening.